Welcome to the Nitty Gritty of Growth, the show for ambitious founders and business leaders who've built something great, but now find themselves stuck in the day-to-day chaos of running it. I'm Nadine McCabe, founder of Strategy to Grow, and I work with business owners turning over 1 million plus, who want to scale to the next level of growth, increase their business valuation, and finally create a business that doesn't need them in every single decision every day. In each episode, we dive into the real challenges of business growth, the messy middle between growth and actually scaling up, where success brings its own set of problems. I'll share practical strategies along with frameworks from my Appear to Grow method, so you can simplify operations, empower your team, and set your business up to thrive. If you've hit a growth ceiling, want to prepare for exit, or just want the freedom to focus on leading again, you're in the right place, so stick around and let's explore how to make your business work for you. Most founders waste countless hours training their team, but the wrong way. You repeat yourself over and over again. You explain the same process 10 different times to 10 different people, and every time you do it, you lose valuable time. Time that should be spent on growing your business, maybe looking at how to take the next step to the next level of revenue growth, or even development of your product or service. So the truth is, if you are training everyone, you're training wrong. Now in this episode, I'll show you how to train once and create leverage, how to use assets instead of airtime, and how to set up peer-to-peer systems so your team scales knowledge without you in the middle. So stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to stop being the trainer and start being the leader. So let's start with leverage, because this is the mistake I see a lot of founders make. They confuse talking with training. If you're standing in front of your team explaining the same thing over and over and over again, you're not actually training, you're babysitting, you're filling airtime, not building capability. True training creates independence, and independence only comes when you take what's in your head, capture it once, and make it reusable forever. That's leverage. Let me give you a real example that I see many times with clients. Now imagine a founder who personally trains every single new hire on their company's onboarding process. Each time it takes this person 6 hours spread across a week. Now 6 hours may not sound like much, but by the time they hire 10 employees, that's 60 hours gone. That's a week and a half of CEO time just teaching the same thing again and again. The big issue here is not only is it a waste of their time, but each new employee gets a slightly different version of training. Some weeks they might be sharp and energetic, and other weeks they're probably rushed or distracted. So even though they think that they're adding value, the fact is they're actually introducing inconsistency. So in these instances, we flip it. Instead of repeating themselves endlessly, we would get them to deliver their best onboarding session once, record it, and break it into simple modules. We then pair those videos with a written one-page SOP and a checklist for employees to complete. The entire process becomes a reusable 3-hour onboarding asset. From that point on, every new hire gets the same quality training. They could go back and rewatch it if they needed a bit of extra clarity, and most importantly, the CEO never has to repeat themselves ever again. Now that's the power of leverage. Train once, capture it, multiply it. So what actionable steps can you do to apply this today? The first thing is pick one training you repeat constantly. Maybe it's onboarding, maybe it's how to use your CRM system, maybe it's your client delivery process, but choose the one that eats up the most of your time. The second thing is to record your best version. So use Loom, Zoom, or even your phone. Don't aim for Hollywood production, just aim for clear instructions. One recording beats 10 inconsistent live explanations, hands down. The third thing is pair it with simple asset. Add a one-page SOP or checklist that breaks the process into steps. That way your team has something to follow and tick off. And the fourth thing is store it in a central hub. Put it where everyone can access it. Your project management tool, a shared drive, or an internal system. Accessibility is really key here. The fifth thing is refine, don't repeat. Instead of running the same session again and again, spend that time improving the asset. If a step changes, update the checklist or re-record it. Just that one section though. Now, when you do this, you free yourself from the cycle of endlessly explaining the same thing 10 times to 10 people. You create consistency, you save hours, and you set your team up to scale without relying on your memory or your availability. So remember this rule, don't train 10 times, train once, capture it, and let the training multiply. Let's move into the second big shift, using assets instead of airtime. Here's what I mean. Airtime is when you explain something live, such as in a meeting, on a call, or a one-to-one. The problem with airtime is that it disappears. Once the words leave your mouth, they're gone. And then 2 days later, someone has to come back and ask you something about it. Assets are completely different. Assets are things that you capture once and then reuse forever. They don't rely on your energy or your calendar, and they don't forget. They sit inside your business like an extra staff member, ready to teach someone or remind someone whenever it's needed. Most founders are trapped in airtime. Their calendar is filled with Q&A sessions of "can I grab you for 5 minutes?" and endless repeat explanations. The result is everyone gets slightly different instructions. The founder is drained and the business becomes dependent on the founder's availability. Switching to assets actually fixes that. Now, what counts as an asset? Things such as a checklist that guarantees consistency in a process, maybe a short video walkthrough that shows exactly how to complete a task, a template for proposals or emails or reports, and also a step-by-step SOP with screenshots. Now think about the difference. Airtime sounds like, "Hey, can I grab you for a second?" repeated 15 times a week. Now assets sound more like, "Check the video and checklist in our shared hub." Now one is reactive, the other is proactive. And the key is assets don't have to be complicated. In fact, the more complicated they are, the less people use them. The goal is for things to be clear, not perfect. And a 2-minute video and a 1-page checklist beat a 20-page manual every single time. So here's how to start building assets instead of burning airtime. Spot the repeats. If you've explained the same thing more than twice in a month, that's a candidate for an asset. Capture the steps quickly. So record a quick Loom video while you're doing the task or draft a simple checklist. Don't overthink it. Next, maybe pair the video with your text. Give your team both, something to watch and something to tick off. That way it suits different learning styles. And put it where people work. Assets buried in folders don't get used. Attach them directly to the task in your project management tool or create a central hub that's easy to find. Now, update, don't repeat. When something changes, edit the asset. Don't reteach it live. Once you shift from airtime to assets, you immediately free hours in your week, reduce errors, and create consistency across your team. The system starts training people for you even while you sleep. The third piece is where scale really kicks in. Peer-to-peer systems. Even if you've built assets, if you're still the one assigning them, checking them, and answering every single question, then your team is still dependent on you. Now that means growth slows down the moment you're not available. The solution is to move from a founder to team model to a team to team model, where knowledge doesn't just flow from you, but flows across the team. Think about schools for a second. A teacher explains something once, but then students help each other with homework. study groups, or sharing notes. The teacher isn't there every single step of the way. This system allows knowledge to spread, and that's exactly what you need in your business. So here's how to build peer-to-peer systems that scale. Assign champions. Every process should have an owner. For example, your finance lead owns the invoicing SOP. Your marketing coordinator owns the content checklist. And your project manager owns the delivery playbook. Ownership spreads responsibility and also creates accountability. Create a rhythm of sharing. Add a 5-minute slot to your weekly meeting where one team member teaches a tip, a lesson, or a shortcut. This keeps assets alive and makes improvement normal, not occasional. Mentorship inside the team. Instead of you training every single new hire, pair them with a peer who already knows the process. That peer uses the assets you've built to onboard them. Not only does this save you time, but it also builds leadership inside of your team. Encourage updates from the front line. The people using the process every single day should be the ones improving it. Make it normal for them to tweak a checklist, re-record a walkthrough, or add a missing step, and then share it back with the group. Celebrate peer leadership. Recognize when someone improves a system or mentors another teammate, because what gets recognized gets repeated. The magic of peer-to-peer systems is that they reduce your involvement while increasing your team's capability. Instead of being the single source of truth, you become the architect of the environment where truth gets created, shared, and refined. And the shift is that you'll feel is instead of every single question coming to you, your team starts answering each other. Instead of you pushing systems, your team starts pulling improvements into them. And instead of you being the teacher, you become the designer of a self-learning organization. Now that's when scale really happens, because scale isn't about you doing more, it's about your team learning and improving without you being in the middle of every single decision. So let's recap. If you want to train your team without training everyone, train once and leverage it forever. Use assets, not airtime, so build things people can access on demand. Build peer-to-peer systems so your team scales knowledge without you being in the middle. And this is how you stop being the trainer and start being the leader. If you want a practical way to start, grab our free 10-minute SOP template. It's a one-page tool designed to help you turn knowledge into an asset your team can use right away. The link is in the description. And if you're serious about building systems that scale beyond you, subscribe for more episodes and drop a comment below with the biggest training challenge you're facing, and I'll answer it in a future episode. So thanks for watching or listening, and remember, businesses that scale are businesses that train without the founder in the middle. See you in the next one. Thanks for joining me on the Nitty Gritty of Growth. If this episode resonated, make sure you subscribe or follow so you don't miss the next one. And if you're ready to simplify, systemize, and scale without being tied to the day-to-day, head to strategytogrow.co.uk to learn more and book a free discovery call. I'm Nadine McCabe, and I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll dig deeper into what it really takes to grow your business with clarity, control, and confidence.